So today we got to play Bees, the Secret Kingdom. So this is a very light...
Yeah, it's a filler game, that's for sure.
It's definitely light, but it's about bees. So I like bees. I like bees a lot. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. Now, Randy, can you tell us a little bit more about Bees?
Yes, this was a 2019 release. It has a Board Game Geek rating of 6.4 and a Board Game Geek rank of 55.59. It's a 2 to 6 player game, average length of 10 to 30 minutes. If you're playing for 30 minutes, you're probably doing it wrong, although I guess with 6 players, it might.
Yeah.
It's still a very quick game. Age 8 and up, I'm not even sure 8 is required. The game is very simple. Designed by Camille Sanix-Ciesla. Art is by Dagmara Gaska and Piotr Hornowski. Published by Ryder Games. MSRP for this was $20. That's what we picked it up for at Origins. And you can't get it much less. The only places I see it online are Noble Knight, which has it for $18, and Board Game Geek, which has it for $19.99. So you're basically paying $20 for this game.
Yeah. So let's talk about the quality of components. You have these beautiful crystals. I mean, they're generic in the fact that we've seen them in a lot of other games, but they are really pretty.
They represent the pollen.
Yeah, and then nice linen finish on the cards. These cards are actually pretty good quality.
Yeah, they're nicely done, and they're oversized, like the tarot-sized cards.
So they're really great for, and I see this as meant to be a kid's game because they're really good quality on the thickness. Is there a lot here? No, but what they did do, they did exceptionally well. So I'm going to give it a 7 because everything I think is really, really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7.5 because I'm a kid. I understand it more. They're old grown-ups.
Now, I will say also that they do have slightly a little storage device inside as well.
It's all off kilter.
Yeah, and the artwork goes with inside the box too. So that's more thematic, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, given the fact that all it literally is a card game and it has these little gems, I'll give it an 8 just because I don't think there's much to take it off for it. I mean, it's a card game. You're not going to have more bits.
Yeah, and like I said, the card quality is top notch. I love it.
You could maybe make the pollen look like drips or something. I don't know. There's not much you could do with it beyond this. But, I mean, obviously pollen is not purple, blue, and yet red.
Well, I mean, it's just more of there's just not a lot to it, right? But it is very, very pretty and it is well done. Now, moving on to the actual theme, the artwork on this is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's breathtaking. I can't critique the artwork.
Yeah, I mean that's what lured us to it. It was sitting just on the counter. I mean, they had them on some racks too, but they had it out for display where they were playing it on the counter, and they said they were playing it periodically throughout the day because it was just a quick filler game, and it was right there on the table, and I could see why because it's just it's very. It doesn't take up much space, but it's beautiful and it's going to attract attention.
Yeah, I mean, just and thematically, right? You're sending out your bees to search for pollen. That's one set of cards to get your little pollen, and then you're going to go make the honey. And so thematically, it's there. I mean, this is a kid's game, but it's super cute and the artwork's fantastic. I'm going to give it a 9 on theme because I really like bees. So I really greatly appreciate it.
I'm going to rate it an 8. Well, I still really like it for the theme. I love the bees. I love the little hive. I love how they put the details for the hives.
Mm-hmm.
They did a lot of details for the honey.
There's a lot of little hexagons on there.
Yeah, that must have took
Well, it's like each of the cards they're different. They have different kind of hive stacks for the honey, and it's just really breathtaking.
Yeah, so I'm going to give it an 8.
Yeah, I'll probably go right there between you two and give it an 8.5. I mean, the art is what takes it away.
Yeah.
Thematically, I mean, it's a basic collect and acquire victory points game. You're just gathering things, which makes sense from a bee's perspective. You're gathering pollen, but there's not a lot of intrinsic gameplay where it's integrated. So I don't think I can go higher, but I think 8.5 is fine with this.
Yeah, and again, it's just the artwork is so phenomenal. All right. Yeah. Now let's move on to the rules. this wasn't a hard game to look.
It's an 8-page rule book, but one's the front cover and one's a frequently asked questions. If you're frequently asking questions about this game, you're either very young or you probably want to rethink gaming. I mean, it's not that.
I mean, but it's a light game, and if people that aren't familiar with reading rules and stuff like that, just for clarification,
it's definitely an easy entry level game, that's for sure, and it's definitely geared towards youngsters. I mean, matter of fact, the starting player is the youngest player at the table, so it's definitely an easy game to pick up.
But I will say that it does build. I mean, and this is more, around gameplay, but this does build on a lot of fundamentals that you see in other card games.
Yeah, it's I mean, set collection and gathering of resources. The resources are all basically the same, just different colors. This has got the advanced mode. We went ahead and straight played the advanced mode because the advanced mode is not that advanced. It just adds 3 additional goals, if you will, to the game. The rule book is straightforward. It's not hard to learn because the game is not hard to learn. And there's nothing wrong about the way it's set up. It does give you the contents and it does have the pictures there. So it's, teaches you, what's in the box right away. I'll probably go ahead and give it a 9 because there's not much takeoff on it. It's very simple.
All right, so let's move on to the actual gameplay. So, Sarah, why don't you go through what a turn looks like for us?
So, you have 2 choices. You can either pick 2 of these cards.
And these are resource cards. This is where you're getting your pollen.
And, yes, and you're going to pick one. So, see, this is one where it has all wilds.
Well, it's not wilds. It's all 4 different colors.
Yes, all of the 4 colors. And then this one is a yellow and a red.
So something to note, though, right, is that the top corner is what you get, and then the bottom left corner is what everyone else gets.
So, like this one, I get this. I'll get all of the colors, and they'll also get all of the colors, because it has the same thing down here. So
it kind of just benefits everybody.
Yeah, so, and then it's the same thing for this one.
Well, no, that one, you get red and yellow, but the 2 of us, we would only get one of the 2 colors. Yeah. So in most cases, it's going to have 2 pollen on it of different colors or the same color. And you will get 2 and everyone else will get 1. There's the one with the 4 colors that you're going to get to take everybody gets the same. That's the only exception.
And so let's say I want this card. So then I'm going to discard this one. And then I'm going to get
your resources.
1 yellow and 1 red.
But you have a limit of 3 of a color.
So like right here, I wouldn't be able to get a yellow, so I would just have to keep it there, and I can get a red. So then I would just discard after that.
Right. What's the other option you can do?
Another option is if the honeys were up there.
Well, there's one. There would typically be 4 on the board. And you would only, even though there's more cards, you would only have 5 times the number of players plus 5.
Okay, so, and then, let's say, so this one has a red, a yellow. I have a red, a yellow. And then all of these different cards. So, let's say, I think I want this one. So, the gray symbol means it's any of them. It is a wild. And so, I'm going to turn it to blue. And let's say I wanted to turn it yellow. Purple. And so then I have that card.
Worth 3 victory points at the end of the game.
Yeah, and so you can tell that by the number of victory points up here. Now, the hard mode allows you to kind of modify some of that. So for an example, this one, if a card does not have verbiage at the bottom, it's worth an extra victory point. So for example, this 2-pointer is now worth 3 points. And that's just one example. So there are other ones that modify that.
The instant win, there's different ones?
Well, yeah, there's 5 different cards to choose from. That one just happens to be an instant win.
Immediately, if you have at least 6 honey cards and have at least 2 more honey cards than any other player, it's an instant win at the very end of the game. Yeah. And then there's another extra point.
Yeah. So it's just depending on, so it adds a little bit more things around the scoring to allow a little more strategy involved. Overall, honestly, this game it kind of reminds me a little bit of, It's a Wonderful World, in the fact that, you're trying to set up these colors, and there's a lot of different...
I see that, yeah.
I don't see it, but yeah.
Well, no, it's just you have the
definitely
cards.
very basic.
Well, it's very basic in the fact that you're just gathering resources and you're placing it. But for kids, learning how to manage your resources, learning about gathering resources, learning about getting other cards that are versus victory points, right? The purchasing power. And so I think this teaches a lot of mechanisms that is great for kids that can be built upon more of the complex games as they get older.
Yeah.
So I think this introduces a lot of good concept for kids.
Yeah, I just think that 8's probably a little higher than you need, because I think you could probably teach all that to a 6 to 7 year old and no problem.
Even if you had at least a parent, maybe a 5-year-old.
Well, and I think the biggest thing is I don't think you could play with these if you went any younger.
Yeah.
No.
And I don't, and again, and probably why they chose 8 is because the reading capability for some of the bottom cards.
Yeah.
So if you had a parent that would help along, then maybe it's not as much of an issue, and you can definitely go younger. Well, luckily you can read, so you don't even need our help. So overall, I mean, it's a cute little kids game, and I liked it. And I didn't think. I mean, I'm probably gonna give this a 7.5. I thought it was a cute kids game.
Again, they're oldies, so they don't understand us kids. So I'm gonna rate it an 8, maybe an 8.5, an 8.5. Because I really like the theme. I really like I love the art. It's just beautiful art.
I think I'm gonna take penalty points off just because you keep calling us old.
You are, though.
So honestly, though, I don't. There's not a lot to the game, but for a children's game, you don't expect there to be a lot.
It's like a simple. Nice
it's very pretty. It's something that's over quickly, so it's not going to overstay its welcome. It's portable. I mean, it's a little larger box than you typically see on a portable game, so it's not as portable as a lot of card games are, but it's not bad. I'll probably give it a 6.5. I don't think it's anything that's outstanding. I think the art is beautiful. That's where it shines. But, it's kind of basic gameplay, but it is good a way to include your children, especially younger children.
Yeah, and that's my biggest thing is this is a kid's game. Like, I'm not gonna rate it like I would some of the more adult games, but understanding that this is a kid's game is
well. There's something to it being a kid's game and it also being a game that includes parents and can still enjoy it. I mean,
right, and that's what I'm saying is that I think this does that, right? Like it's.
I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, again, 5 is our average Catan level.
Right.
So this is still above that.
Yeah, so absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast, and hopefully you'll come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later.
All right, bye.
Bye.